Judge number 1, from Turkey. Judge number 4, from Canada. Judge number 3, from Czech Republic. Judge number 4, from Estonia. Judge number 5, from the United States of America. Judge number 6, from Germany. Judge number 7, from Yerevan. Judge number 8, from Italy. Judge number 9, from Thailand.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Budapest. podcast, my colleague, my friend, Mark Hanratty, joining us from his studio in his garage, and he's painting the house today. He's a busy boy. Welcome, Mark.
Good morning, Ted. How are you? Hope you're well.
Very good. As we take a look at the officials and the technical panel for this event, you've been quite busy getting that garage prepared, or that studio, really.
Not everybody has had the chance to see the amazing facilities that you have in your home and at work, so I have high standards to try to match. That's maybe the motivation. You're the motivation.
Well, you're doing a rather good job there, mate. So, from what I can understand. Listen, we got the rhythm dance coming up here, of course, the 80s themes. We've had a pretty good time. It was really interesting. We talked a lot about, what would we see, especially with the juniors, because they're extremely young and they had to do their homework and research. It was the first crack for the coaches and the choreographers to take a look back at the 80s and see what they could do with their young skaters. What are your thoughts so far at this point of the season?
I mean, for me, I think comparative to other seasons when the rhythm dance has been much more one specific dance style, it's been the blues or tango or waltz, and so this has much more scope for different interpretation. I think that's hopefully something that lots of fans around the world will really enjoy, and also opportunity then for the skaters to not feel too pigeonholed in regards to the expression that they go with, because the 1980s, 10 years of amazing music, and within that obviously lots of scope for different energies. All that's a prerequisite for the skaters is to make sure that they have a piece of music that fits the required tempo for their rocker foxtrot, which they all have to do 2 sequences of.
As we take a look at the British dance team there, Ashley Slater and Angay Perez. I asked you this question earlier on in the season, and if you were dancing at this time and you had to do an 80s theme, what would be the music you'd choose?
I think I skirted around the answer last time.
You came up with something very flimsy. I seem to remember.
Okay, well, a few events down and having seen what the skaters have come to the table with, when I look at Ashley and Atul, they have gone with Run DMC. Part of me wishes I had the confidence to go for something like that. When I hear their music and when I see them dance, it makes me, makes me smile. It makes me want to, tap my feet. I, though, would have probably gone for something more like Prince, which we've seen others use, which is brilliant music, of course, but it would be a little bit more in fitting with my emotional range of expression.
Man, what did you just say there? Like, I have no idea. I mean, that was beautiful fence walking. That was well done.
I'm a master of that fence walking by now.
No. No, I know. It's hard to sort of pick, but it's different stage of life, of course, and what you liked in the 80s and what you may look back on now and appreciate could be different things. So, okay, I'll accept that as a semi.
And you, if I bat the ball back to your good self?
Yeah, I kind of like the energy of. Oh my God! You see, I can't remember the name now. Hold on, let's carry on here. I'll remember in a second. Who's the singer? Oh, jeez. I'll remember. Carry on.
Okay. It'll come.
But I'm kind of enjoying the music, and some of the pieces, actually, I didn't hear in the 80s, so all new to me. And I did ask a question from a couple of technical ice dance people about what happens, because let's face it, let's say the 1980s music in Germany would be different than that in the United States. Now, we hear a lot of the music from the United States that came out in the 80s. But what about German music, or perhaps another country that had music that was created in the 80s? How would the officials actually recognize that and say, yeah, that's valid for the 80s?
Oh, that's such a good question. What were the answers that you got back?
Kind of general. Well, we trust, we do some research, but we have to trust that everybody is sort of following that guideline. I mean, most of the music we've heard so far is North American music, but there certainly could be pieces coming from different parts of the world that we would have never heard of or heard before that are legitimate from the 80s.
And the communication released by the Ice Dance Technical Committee, communication number 2560, it says that Any music is possible provided that the chosen version, it was originally released in the decade of the 80s and maintains the essence of the 1980s. And the couple should demonstrate through dance the culture and feeling or essence of this decade. So.
Okay, and now I remember. Wham.
Oh, Wham! Oh, yes. Oh, I haven't watched the documentary.
No, you got to watch that
yet,
documentary. It's really good.
Okay.
Very interesting how all that music sort of evolved, if you will. But I liked the music. It had great, happy, positive energy, and it was kind of cool at the time. Okay, it's kind of old now, but, you know, it was great. And we've seen a number of teams actually skate to Wham. So here we go. We filled that warm-up session, and we are ready to start the rhythm dance on day 2. Junior Grand Prix week number 5. Next week, both Mark and I will be in Gdansk working together. That'll be fun. Maybe a little crazy. Maybe possibly even possibly annoying. Our first team on the ice, Republic of South Africa, 15-year-old Felicity Chase and 20-year-old Mikhail Ajam. They were both born in Cape Town. 23.33, their personal best in Bangkok week number 1. They'll skate the Love Cats in self-control.
Felicity Chase and Mikhail Ajam, 15 years old and 20 years old respectively, representing the Republic of South Africa. And we saw them at the Junior Grand Prix in Bangkok, and they'd said that traveling to Bangkok was so amazing. They appreciated all the culture and beauty and history of that place and wanted to show the improvement since that event, but obviously just a tough fall early on in the rhythm dance for this young player.
Yeah, very difficult on the slides. We'll see that fall. Here's the twizzles to start the dance. Of course, it's level 3 and a level 1. We'll see here coming up sliding moves are going to go into the rotational lift here, and he just couldn't get his feet and have to rearrange a little bit in here, but did get the rotational lift up.
Yeah, and kudos to them for being able to salvage something, get the lift up. Has to be 3 seconds at least off the ice for it to count, and they did that. I think there was a knock-on implication on the timing, obviously, and so then between the team, because they haven't got huge amounts of experience, as we look at the Rocker Foxtrot, they struggled to know, when to pick back up again, and I think there are a few implications. However, you can see to me here, as we look at some of these little choreographic assisted jumps, generally, had it not been for that, the team did look experienced and strengthened from that experience in Bangkok. So unfortunate that it didn't showcase entirely because of the fall, but we can see beyond that and recognize the improvements.
Yeah, for sure. Their personal best was 23.33, and they might beat that here. Certainly has been improvement. That one big mistake, because the presents are awarded in the kiss and cry. How nice is that? Oh, there's more coming.
Really
there's
good.
more coming. Yeah, they're always going to feel a little bit down with a mistake, but there's a season's best of 26.73. Yeah, he goes season's best. That's good. Now the smiles come up.
Thumbs up.
Of course, first team out in this competition. So improvement made. Mistake was there, but improvement outweighed that from a number perspective, and they take away their season's best.
Great attitude.
Well, there is a look at our next team from the United States of America. 16-year-old Yahali Patterson and 21-year-old Jeffrey Chen. First Junior Grand Prix season together. Second event, taking the silver in Istanbul. Their season's best was 63.25. Good score, and they like to repeat that here right now. And they'll skate to a kind of magic and Under Pressure by Queen.
America's Yali Peterson and Jeffrey Chen. And Ted, I saw the couple in Istanbul, and I learned then that it was the first season for Yali as a part of an ice dance team. And I had to ask the question again more recently just to confirm it, because it's hard to imagine that this is Yali's first season as a competitive ice dancer in a partnership.
Yes, so interesting because, you know, some people just take the disciplines very quickly. And ice dance, and I'm most certain that she was a performer in singles as well, just loves this with having a partner on the ice as well. So has adapted to this discipline quite naturally as we take a look at the Twizzles.
And I remarked upon their first Junior Grand Prix as well, the experience that Jeffrey has and the way in which he has utilized that experience to support his new partnership and take the team together, because they don't seem like one experienced competitor. I love this, Ted. That was such a good work there. Well done. But yeah, you definitely sense, for all the experience that Jeffrey has, that he's formed a partnership with Yali and they are working together. And of course, the match in the free legs, the timing that they have as a couple will develop with necessary time. But I think a really good match, as you can see, as they work through the rocker foxtrot. Here, the rotational lift. Coming in comfortably and unsurprisingly at a level 4. Their intention, I'm sure, will be much more to see how good a grade of execution they can get and see whether or not they can post scores competitive with the likes of Leah Nasset and Artem Markelov, the compatriots.
Well, you have to, you know, look at how quickly they've adapted to each other, and for her adapting to this discipline, you know, beautifully done. They've got a very bright future continuing down that pathway. Rhythm dance scores season's best, 64.90. They look pretty happy with that score. The second team out, and they'll take over the lead at this stage of the competition. Charlie, right there, obviously extremely happy with that. Big smile on his face.
Yep.
Well, from Great Britain, our next team, 14-year-old Ashley Slater and 16-year-old Ange Perez, both born in London. 55.11 personal best in Linz, week number 2. They're skating to It's Tricky and Walk This Way.
Ashley Statter and Atal Ongi Perez from Great Britain. And you see, Ted, the little connection between them. They are so united. It's such an amazing friendship. And they had some challenges there. The second rocker foxtrot, just a little tight, and it looked like they were so desperately keen to try and secure more key points, and maybe that caused them to tighten up a little. But the friendship and solidarity between them is just a joy to behold.
Yeah, not an easy piece to do. I mean, this is a little breakout piece from the 80s. I mean, it's pretty hard rock type of thing, and you know, it's difficult. You have to commit the character all the way, and they did. They have that from the first note to the end, and Ashley does a great job. It's amazing, you know, creating the hairdo that works with that piece as well. As we take a look at some of the elements here, and I think you'll see that part of the second rocker foxtrot.
And you know, that was great. Utilizing the rules to allow them to slide within the step, and this is just amazing, isn't it? The speed, confidence, and a surety within their stationary lift really forces that good grade of execution. And here, worked hard with their choreographer Mathieu Jaffray.
Right here, you know, hard with that hold. She just slipped a little bit. That hold behind the back after the rocker, not easy.
And you can sense that Ashley was so desperately keen to get key points clean and just forcing the edges. So it's testament to their desire to be competitive. And as we see the Twizzlers now, this team, 4th in their first Junior Grand Prix. Last year, they caught some attention with their great choreography and impressed a lot of people. This year, again, continuing to push themselves. And you can see the desire for the team to really succeed. And got to give a shout out to one of their lead coaches, Philippa Tyler-Green, who hasn't been on the Junior Grand Prix with them. It's Candice that's with them. Philippa's 3 weeks away from having her second child, so I'm sure congratulations and love sent to her as well.
Yeah, I think they're sending some kisses her way right now.
Yep.
But I love the attack of this team. I mean, they take on the character and they go for it all the way. You know, whether it works or doesn't, they don't. It's not because they're not committed, because they completely are. And I don't know, they bring a sort of a fresh sort of style to the ice. We really like that. Something a little bit different, a little bit unique. And now it's quiet, waiting for the scores. It's kind of like church.
Pray for your...
Yeah. Well, 55.11 was their season's best so far. They were 4th at the last competition, a really good placement as they anxiously wait for a new set of numbers. And here they are, the season's best, 56.75. And that puts Ashley and all currently into second place. And they look quite pleased with that. So they should be. There is our next team representing Ukraine, 14-year-old Irina Bidgena and 19-year-old Artem Koval. 57.67, the personal best in Linz. A good score. And they'll skate to Give Me the Night and pump up the jam.
Arina Pegina and Artem Koval representing the Ukraine, and a couple just like Ashley Satter and Adlange Perez before them, who competed in Linz just a few weeks ago. And it's going to be very interesting, Ted, to see how the judges dissect the differences between the skaters. Back-to-back performances.
You have 57.67, their personal best. Need to top that here. We'll see. They had a good skate, no major mistakes as we take a look at the twizzles. Good synchronization, nice and close together.
And here's we look at the midline. You can see the skating skill that Arina and Artem have. So much ice coverage as you see them take that swing outside Choctaw, getting from barrier to barrier here, the outside closed Mohawk. For me, the skating skill is potentially stronger than the Brits. I thought that the midline step didn't maybe start on phrase with the music, nor did the twizzles, so perhaps from a composition perspective, it wasn't quite as tight, but there you can see in the turns an awareness of the tech score to try and push those levels up with the rotational lift. And the couple said to me that there was no change since Linz, no time for anything but training, so it's just been constant repetition and progress, and how proud they are to fly their flag in the kiss and cry.
1980 training like that. Yeah,
That's
actually
brilliant, isn't it?
It does look like a t-shirt from the 1980s, I have to say. That was well done.
And this team trained with Pinchuk and Pogoleov, who won the Junior Grand Prix in Istanbul, so I'm sure the training environment that they're in, as he acknowledges his home country, is a really positive environment alongside their coach Galina Turlova. They have the anxious wait now.
Yeah, a little bit of, home and friends to train with and doing the best they can through difficult times.
Yeah, and they've had to relocate to Vienna. So how good is it, just like you say, Ted, they miss their family, but how good that they have, their teammates, their Ukrainian teammates, they're with them in Austria. And I think they all extend their gratitude to the location they train in Vienna for welcoming them.
Rhythm dance scores, season's best, 61.77 for Arina and Artem, and they look pretty happy with that. It's all three of them. That'll put them currently into second place as we look at the leaderboard, top four teams so far. And there is a look at our next team representing the Czech Republic. 17-year-old Lauren Audrey Batkova and 17-year-old Jacob Yang. They'll skate to Love Will Never Do Without You and Rhythm Nation.
Well, some great dance sections within the choreo for Lauren Audrey Barkova and Jacob Yang. And a team that this is, I think, their first competition representing the Czech Republic, and that fall that they had within the second Rocket Foxtrot is one that so many will have had in practice. It's such an uncomfortable outside closed mohawk, and it's not uncommon to see, just unfortunate that it happened in the limelight of the competition. Here.
Lauren was born in.
Just
Lauren, watch right here. Oh, just shaky edge, and then just hit the heel.
And it makes me think again, Ted, that the couples, as we see them work through the change of pose within the curve lift, the teams will be so keen to get those key points. The clarity and depth of the edge set on the likes of the outside closed mohawk will give them more value. But you know, it's, as they say, running at the risk of on the perilous edge that they're on can have those kind of repercussions. Let's see, twizzles. You can see just a little mismatched in the body alignment within the twizzles, but this was fun, and I love to see Lauren looking genuinely like she really enjoys that section. I imagine that section of choreo is a piece that their training mates back home in Canada will enjoy too. I think, Ted, that as we see some of the choreography, that Janet Jackson may be one of the most popular choices that we've heard this year.
Yeah, I would agree. We've heard a lot of Janet Jackson.
I'm wondering if Madison Hubble and Zachary Donahue have something to do with that. They used it so well in a rhythm dance for them en route to their Olympic medal. Maybe that's been inspiration for others.
Lauren was born in Markham, Ontario, and Jacob in Toronto. They train in that city, in Toronto.
That's a good partner. Make sure our partner's hair is okay.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Rhythm dance score is 46.41. And they say, well, okay, it's not too bad for Lauren and Jacob. That'll put you currently in fourth place. There is a look at your top 5 teams so far in this event. As we go into group number 2 warm-up. Look at the start order for group 2 as they take the ice. Mark, do we have any questions? Of course, we were working away yesterday. I was challenging you with a bunch of difficult questions.
And I suppose it's great that we can have those somewhat difficult questions and give just a perspective. And what I'm conscious of, Ted, for the skaters, and maybe for any of the parents that listen as they're eagerly awaiting the performances of their skater, that a lot of the time, a skater starts their skating career. It's maybe a party, it's a visit to the rink, and then over time it develops into a life obsession that consumes the family's time as well. And you don't always get to ask those questions, because when you have coaches that are, say, like Charlie White, Olympic champion himself, he with his wife Tanith White, both Olympic medalists, they're traveling around the globe right now with all their different teams, and the coach's time is so precious that they just want to utilize that time in terms of supporting the skater's education on the ice. So often, you don't get the chance to access those questions, those big picture questions, and outside the box and outside the training environment remit.
The good discussion points, that's for sure.
So that is the segue, though, just to say, please do offer us this question. Teresa has
I was wondering where you're going with that. I said, okay, this sounds good, but where's he going with this? Okay, Teresa has some questions.
Well, no, Teresa has sent out a post on the ISU, the International Skating Union's Instagram, just to help us out in getting some filler for the warm-ups we've got today.
Okay, go for it.
Well, no questions as yet, but what I think we maybe...
You just said that there were some.
Oh no, she's put the post out, so she's put the post out requesting them, so hopefully at the back of that we'll get some. Okay. But we should just acknowledge that the team have disabled the chat on the YouTube today, so just check in touch with us on Instagram, and you can ask some questions via the International Skating Union's Instagram page there.
Perfect. Okay, I have to think of some questions for you again. See, whoa, that reverse, your direction of travel, your reverse direction of travel is always tricky on those twizzles, of course. Yeah, it takes so many years to get that comfortable. It's like writing with your left hand and your right hand, your opposite hand.
Yeah. And it's interesting when I talk about Tanith White, Tanith Belbin, when she was Olympic silver medalist with Benjamin Agosto, the twizzles that were required then in 2006, so what's that, 17 years ago, at that point in time, couples could rotate their two twizzles in the same direction. Now, it's a requirement for anything more than level 1 to have to do the second twizzle or either twizzle in different direction, which is the bane of most ice dancers' existence.
See now, Mark, I knew there was a question that Teresa sent in. I knew there was. I saw that. But,
oh, you did.
I did.
See,
then,
you loaded the question
going,
and I didn't answer.
Wrong? Okay, here it is. It's a tough one because I don't quite understand it, but do the elements you choose to do on the free dance depend on the ones you choose in the rhythm dance, or are they completely independent? Okay, I guess that is in regards to the rules or the elements that you do in those two different dances.
Well, that's actually a really, really interesting question, because last season and this season now, you cannot use the same features within the lifts. So the ice dance technical panel have to gauge what features the couples choose to try to get their level 4 for the short lift in the rhythm dance, and they can't repeat and double up on those in the free dance. So I think that was brought in because there was commonality happening. Skaters were using those same features, and some argued that it was a bit boring, that they were using the guaranteed fallback safe features that assured them of a level 4. Oh, that was cool. And they were trying to push the teams to come up with more options within the lifts. In regards to the other elements, the twizzles are a little bit different. The criteria are a little bit different from rhythm dance to free dance, and couples are allowed the option to touch, and they can do between 2 and 4 steps between the first and second twizzle in the free dance. But in the rhythm dance, you can have only 1 step in between the first and second twizzle.
And which do you prefer, the free dance twizzle or the rhythm dance twizzle?
I love that in the free dance, the skaters, because they've got more scope, they have to do 2 to 4 steps in between, and they can touch. Then we see some amazing examples of great creativity and the chance to exploit some more choreography. So I like that there's a difference in between the rhythm dance and the free dance, because that goes in line with what I was just saying about the lifts. Prior to that, a lot of teams were just using the bog standard, here's my level 4 twizzles, and copy and paste them into the free dance, whereas now that's not possible.
Yeah, I really like that as well. And because I like the creativity and the space. They have enough space and time to do something unique and different between the two sets of twizzles. And we've seen some really innovative connecting moves and steps and lifts and you name it.
Love that.
A little conversation going on in there. Their names get announced. 17-year-old Maria Alieva and 20-year-old Yehor Barshak from Georgia. 49.66, their personal best in the rhythm dance. They'll skate to What Have You Done For Me Lately, Love Will Never Die, and Rhythm Nation by Janet Jackson.
Maria Alieva and Yehor Barshak, confirming my theory that Janet Jackson being one of the popular choices for the rhythm dance this year. And I love the connection between them.
Confirming my theory. I like that's pretty good. Yeah, no, it has been pretty popular, that's for sure.
And the team, Ted, they competed in Istanbul, and I think they were a little saddened to find themselves down in 11th place after the rhythm dance there, because they are so strong. At that event, their program component scores, their skating skills, presentation, composition, had them much higher. It was the technical score that saw them placing in a lower place. So this time they've got a couple of key points which they didn't have, so we'll see if that will help them advance up the rankings as we look at the Twizzles. Good match. And just a little out of sync at the end there, but an improvement for sure. That they're one step between the two, and then a right forward outside Twizzle with the arm feature on the second, and this third Twizzle, the Group C feature, and a really nice match there. I thought free legs were very consistent
and
between them.
A nice GOE score, 1.26 added to that.
Oh, nice. Good. And this, what is known as the first rocker foxtrot sequence because of the relationship in the hold. This is the conventional rocker foxtrot hold, which has been known for nearly 100 years. And there, that the difficult entry into the rotational lift. And not a massive grade of execution boost on that one. Still positive, but it'll be that continued speed, ice coverage, cleaner positions, which can help to enhance that element as the season progresses. And I'm sure they will be eager to go to Junior Worlds. Yehor, he competed at Junior Worlds last year with his previous partner. Now they're joined by Alexei Kilyakov in the Kiss and Cry. Oh, Ted, intel that you'll need tomorrow. Their free dance costumes are Papadakis and Cizeron's costumes that they didn't use during the COVID year. And Maria wears Gabriela Papadakis' costume for the free dance tomorrow, and she feels Gabriela's energy, extra power, and she feels a responsibility to skate well in that costume.
Okay, you're going to have to write that down. I will never remember every word there. You're going to send that to me, okay?
I'll send that to you.
All right. That's because Mark will not be on the broadcast tomorrow. I will be covering the free dance, so intel helps.
Yes, I'll send it all.
Rhythm dance score from Maria and Yehor, 55.19. Best. We've seen a lot of season's best so far in this event. That's fourth in the rhythm dance so far in the competition. Well, they're pleased with that. Every time out, going for personal bests is a great achievement, no matter where you end up. Our next team represents Estonia. 14-year-old Xenia Siponova and 17-year-old Miran Korjagin. This is their first Junior Grand Prix season or event, and they're going to skate to Paradise City by Guns N' Roses.
Well, that difficult transition to finish, and some other unique and difficult, challenging transitions chosen for Xenia Sipanova and Miron Korjagan from Estonia. And this is a team that has only been together for half a year. And unlike Yali Pedersen, who was so brilliant with her partner Jeffrey Chen from the United States of America, Xenia, prior to partnering with Miron, was a single skater, so not even already an established solo dancer.
No,
not even
you could see her really focusing also on the steps, and we'll take a look at that in certain parts of the rhythm dance. But you know, it's hard to skate to it like Guns N' Roses. It's tough and rough. And here's the twizzles in a level 2 for both partners.
Interesting pattern usage, changing directions within the 3 twizzles. And this, the key points, and also this, the rocker foxtrot, just an opportunity to gauge the skating skills and gauge the refinement, and just the way of stroking for Xenia will be different just from the way in which she would have had to skate as a single skater. You can see just even twizzling. I mean, of course, single skaters can twizzle, but it's not as much of a...
No, and watch right here, Xenia's really focusing on the steps, of course, just not comfortable yet with the performance. And this music demands a lot of hard rock, you know, a little bit of that at the end of the program, but, you know, with such a short period of time to work together, it's only going to get better from here on in as they learn to skate beside each other and with each other. It's something that requires a lot of energy and attitude, really, in this dance.
And hearing from their coaches, Yerevan and Taviran, they've said that they hope just for a good experience and then motivation from the competition, because they know what it takes. And no matter what they say, Estonia isn't a skating nation with an abundance of ice dancers. I mean, Tavi, he himself competed at Olympic level, but he trained in America, I think, with Spielband. So the coaching staff want this experience to give them the motivation and awareness of what to then work on.
That's a really good point. It's very strategic and very smart. Give them a little taste. Get them, I don't want to say addicted to the taste, but get them connected with the passion of the sport, and that'll drive them to higher heights.
And, you know, to not just, it's one thing to be in a partnership. That in itself is really challenging to skate, having skated in all of your previous skating education on your own, to then deal with another body so close to you, that's a challenge. But then also, although it's the same requirement for skating skills for pairs, singles and dance, the stylistic differences mean that just stroking a crossover can be deemed so very different if you're getting an ice dancer education than if you are a single skater education. So Xenia will have had a lot on her plate.
It's very interesting watching the team, and you know, they've got some smiles and looks at each other, and the three of them just sort of getting comfortable. This is unusual for Xenia to sit on a couch with 2 other people, and you know, not yet molded into a team, into a partnership. That simply takes time. Those are personalities, plus the skating, all the technical stuff as well. So this is a bit of a new journey. She'll get comfortable. The more time she spends in this, and it'll strengthen the partnership both on the ice, of course,
and probably cement the awareness of the journey that they're on together, having seen others that are a little further down that road.
Exactly. Let's take a look at the scores for the rhythm dance. Xenia and Miron 34.54, and that'll put them currently into 6th place. Well, here is our next team. They represent Canada. 16-year-old Caroline Kravitz and 17-year-old Jacob Stark. First junior Grand Prix event. They're coached by Paul McIntosh and Tyler Morris. We don't have, obviously, a season's best score yet. They'll get it here right now. They'll skate to Human, and people are people.
Caroline Kravitz turned 16 last Thursday, and partner Jacob Stark, 17 years old. And Ted, couldn't find out much about the team. I gather this is likely to have been their first junior season together. I think they were novices in Canada last year, so huge step up.
And I do want to mention their coach, Paul McIntosh, started out Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer, and a number of other great Canadian ice dance teams. He's been really an anchor in this discipline in Canada for many, many years, and has done such a wonderful job, and you can see him starting another team here. So congratulations to Paul and Tyler, and we wish them the very best as they move forward.
Yeah, and kind of an unsung hero, obviously, as we watch the Rocker Foxtrot, the first to the Rocker Foxtrot. You know, Virtue Moore, the most decorated Olympians in figure skating, and the coach starts them off, doesn't get to necessarily attain all that accolades for it. So great to see that Paul and Tyler continuing to develop other teams to achieve that.
I don't have the whole list in front of me, can't remember them all, but I know they're quite significant in Canada, and so this is a coach that means so much to the discipline of ice dance in Canada, and it's important for people to know that.
You can see there, obviously, to do the twizzles just a little far apart, but to be expected somewhat for a team in their first season as juniors. But got to relish and acknowledge the total embracement again of the 80s theme with costume and hair.
Yeah, love that. That's awesome. That's more acceptable, you know, like during the 80s and the 70s when I lived, a lot of the costumes or the outfits just were not acceptable. at least for me. I'm not wearing that. So that was quite okay.
Total free reign on the colors and all sorts.
The wilder, the better in those days.
Yeah. And interesting, Jacob lists playing hockey as one of his hobbies, so great to see. And I dare say that it's nice to see the skaters still being able to list other hobbies, because to compete at this level, as Caroline and Jacob are doing, has to take up so much of their time. Wonderful to know that they have a support system that facilitates other hobbies in addition to the ice dance. Yeah,
I mean, I skated and played hockey for many, many years. It's hard to do that nowadays, but great to see that. As we take a look at the scores, 45.81 for Caroline and Jacob. That'll put them currently into 6th place. Experience gained, a new experience for this team. Hopefully go back motivated and inspired to continue their journey. There is a look at our next team who represent Belgium. 14-year-old Sofia Beznikova and 16-year-old Max Lelou. First Junior Grand Prix season. Second event this fall, coming 13th in Linz in week number 2. 42.95, their personal best. So skate to Another One Bites the Dust.
Sofia Beznoskova and Max Deleu from Belgium. And I really noticed the improvement and the progression in this team from their first Junior Grand Prix experience. And interesting, Ted, lots of teams were in Linz together. So far, they all seem to be getting higher scores, and that indication of the hard work that's taken place in the weeks between events. But then I wonder how much they'll be comparing and contrasting in their proximity to others as well.
Yeah.
For me, with Sophia and Max, it's just definite improvement.
Oh, I felt this team much improved since Linz. I mean, not that they were bad at Linz, they're just much better here. They're in unison.
That's actually what you've caught there. All that time on one foot after that first was an indication of good skating skills. And they were in the high fours, I think, for the skating skills before. And just the way that they did that transition between the first and second suggests they should be comfortably in the fives this time.
They are.
Good. The outside closed mohawk, so tricky, but you can see to me that the skating skills match in all of their movement here. They're the outside closed mohawk within the midline step, but moving more as a united team with shared technique. Good extension of the free foot from Max in particular. So 42.9. Whoa, I just checked. 42.95 from Linz. That was the second event. This is the fifth, so
the second event. Yeah, that's the second event. So this was going to be a huge increase as Coach sitting casually on the couch, like watching a movie or something here. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, this is a big improvement. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think this coach I've seen online has taken them to other rinks to work with the likes of Igor Spioban, Pasquale Carmalengo, and it looks like her commitment to the team is resolute, not just to enhance Sophia and Max's progression, but presumably to get her own education improved as well, and that's a real testament to an aspiring coach.
No question at all on that.
I'm excited to see what the reaction will be.
Yeah, me too.
Knowing what we can see is coming.
Yeah. Rhythm dance scores, season's best, 52.52. Pretty subdued. Yeah, a little nod of approval. That's a 10-point increase from their other score. That'll put them currently in the 5th place. I think they're on a bigger mission, and they're pretty determined, and good on them. What a great start. Our next team represents the United States of America. Olivia Dylan and Dylan Kane, 14 and 15 years of age. This young team, 51.69 personal best, earning that in Istanbul, week number 3. And they'll skate to Neutron Dance, I Need You, and I'm so excited, all by the Pointer Sisters.
14-year-old Olivia Ilin and 15-year-old Dylan Kane from the United States of America. And this team just is so delighted to have the chance to have a second Junior Grand Prix. And Olivia was explaining to me that she is laser focused on improving her skating skills.
This team makes me smile because I don't know, there's something unique and special about them. They don't have the strong skating skills yet. You can see that. They're still working on that. But they have independent, individual personalities that match perfectly. They really do. And you can see they've got this, I don't know what it is, this relationship or this connection, if you will, that's going to be special as they continue to grow in skills.
Yeah, and I've seen so many pictures of them from as far back as 2016. And it's great to see that
good save there.
Well documenting. Yeah, really good save from Olivia. They've documented their skating journey over the last 7 years or so, and that's going to be so amazing because I assume that they will go into great things. And what's really sweet just now as we look at the curve lift is I'd read a quote where Dylan admires Charlie White, and there was Charlie White, who I think they have worked with a little bit, but he's up there applauding him now, and what an amazing moment, you know, for him to be enjoying seeing an Olympic champion applauding him.
And I like the, you know I've mentioned this before from Istanbul. I like his hair. The reason is because it says something independent, individual in him, and you can see his expression as well. It's not all, you know, grown up and mature yet, but it's youthful and it's energetic and it's him and her.
Yeah.
And just with her little head nod there. Okay, it's not all comfortable and confident yet, but there's something unique, there's something special, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching this team as they grow physically and psychologically and work as a team and become who they're meant to be. And they're just something there. Don't know what it is. It's hard to explain. We'll see what happens over the next few years, of course, but starting out at a good spot.
Yeah, and as they grow and develop, I wonder how coach and father will cope. Dmitry Ilin, the coach, and I'd read that Olivia was quoted as saying, "He's always my dad first, and then coach."
Yeah.
And I think that's that.
Well, she goes home with him to the family, and that's special as they grab hands to wait for the scores.
Yeah.
The personal best 51.69. This is a 53.74, so that is a season's best for Olivia and Dylan, and that'll put them into 5th place. Have to be pleased with those scores, the progress made, and there they are in the top 5 at this point in the competition. Okay, as we take a look at the standings after the first 2 groups, there it is. Ali Pedersen and Jeffrey Chen from the United States in first. A good 3-point lead as we take a look at the rest of the field. And Mark, we have our ISU video playback list ready. And what are we going to see on the ice resurfacing?
Well, seeing as we're in the middle of the ice dance event, I thought we could look back at the winners of the previous ice dance competition. So first up will be the Americans Leon Nisset and Artem Markelov after their win in Bangkok. And then to the German champions in Linz, Daria Grimm and Mikhail Savitsky. And finally the Ukrainian winners in Istanbul, Chuk and Pogorelyov.
Nicely done. Hope you enjoy it. We'll be back right after this.
Here in Bangkok, Thailand, with the ice dance champions, 17-year-old Leah Nisset and 20-year-old Artem Markelov of the United States. Now, I remember watching you the first time last season on the Junior Grand Prix, and I was so shocked because I hadn't seen you before. You had something really unique and special. I really loved your performance, but you've improved that much more. And I think there's something very special about your couple. Can you explain what you think that might be?
First of all, thank you so much for the kind words. I think we're just trying to connect on ice and try to skate as one person, and that's what makes us special.
And your thoughts?
I agree.
One word answer, I agree. That's it. You're so beautiful with every edge, such deep knees, deep edges, beautiful interpretation of the music. How would you, and I saw the practice earlier this morning, it was just breathtaking. How was your performance in the competition today compared to that practice?
We're overall happy that we were able to show new programs and try to show the idea, but we obviously have a lot more potential and a lot of room for improvement, and we would like to show it in the future events.
Okay, I'm going to ask you what you like most about your partner.
I would say his work ethic.
Oh, that's a good one. That's nice. And what do you like most about your partner?
She's very kind.
Oh, you guys are good. You're really good. Well, congratulations here. Do you know what other Junior Grand Prix you'll be going to?
Yes, we're going to go to Junior Grand Prix in Japan.
In Japan. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you there. Congratulations on your win here. Champions here in Bangkok for the ice dance. Here in Linz in the Kiss and Cry with the dance champions in week 2 in the Junior Grand Prix, Daria Grimm and Mikhail Savitsky of Germany. Now, what a story. I mean, last year you were in Calgary at the Junior World Championships. You skated the rhythm dance, but you didn't get to skate the free dance, so that was really disappointing. You had a great season last year. First time out this season, you take the title. How does it feel?
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it always feels great to win, obviously.
Yeah.
It feels great that we could deliver our programs pretty well this time, even with the lack of preparation that we had. I feel like we did a pretty good job, and it feels really good. The atmosphere here in Linz is perfect. I couldn't do it any better.
Tell us about the new program that you've got this year. What do you like about this program?
I like pretty much everything because I think it suits us. Well, the rhythm dance really suits us, and the free program is something new, so we try to do it our best. But yeah, I think the programs are quite good, and I really like them.
Now, you know, the 1980s theme, you guys weren't around, that's for sure, 1980s. Unfortunately, I was alive. You know, it's a long time ago. Did you do any research on the 80s?
Yeah, of course. We watched movies where they danced a lot. We watched many videos about the 1980s to see how they moved, what dance moves they had, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of variety when it comes to 80s, so you can't really like pick one. It's because there's just so many. But we try to look at as many as possible and see what's good for us and what suits us, and then yeah.
Was the film black and white or was it color? It's pretty old. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, look. It was color. Yeah, it was color. Okay, that's good. Okay, what do you most like about your partner?
His breakdance moves.
No, I mean like about his personality, not his breakdance moves. Okay, but that might be good too. But okay, what do you like about his personality?
I don't know. I think
You don't know?
No, because I like everything. No, I like his like
That's
humor.
good.
I think we're pretty similar. So like, I don't know. I just like him.
Okay, well that's good enough. How about you?
I like the way she manages to bond with me, because not many people can do that.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah, that's strange. Is that why it's very difficult?
I'm not
I'm so
strange. You know, she just does it on another level.
I just get him.
Well, you guys are a wonderful team. You know, you really are. It's very special to watch the program. We're so happy for you to hold up that gold medal there. You know, the champions here in Linz, and where will we see you next? I think in Budapest. Is that right?
No, in
No,
Gdansk.
In Gdansk. Okay, well that's even better.
Last year.
Yes.
We'll be there this year too.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations on this win.
Thank you
Absolutely
so much.
outstanding. Daria Grimm and Mikhail Savitsky of Germany, the champions here in Linz.
Vitaimo, Maria Mikita, congratulations. You're the first Ukrainian team to win an ice dance gold medal in 12 years. How do you feel?
I still couldn't believe that it happened because I don't know, I'm so excited.
I don't know how it's explained. When you make a goal about this, you have so much emotions. You have so much things what you gonna to say, but now I don't know what to say. I don't know what. Yes, it's feeling.
Now, when you skated the free dance, you looked a little disappointed after the free dance. Were you a little frustrated with the skate?
Yes, I was a bit disappointed because of my twizzles. Yes, we will work on it. Yeah. So
And when is the next competition?
in Gdansk, Junior Grand Prix in Gdansk. Yes.
Look forward to seeing you in Gdansk. Now, we understand that you've had to relocate your training to Vienna,
Yes.
but how proud are you to see the Ukrainian flag flying in first place?
I'm so proud that we did it because I don't know, I'm so proud that we are Ukrainian and that we can compete for this country and do something in such a hard time for us and our country, yes. And we are also very grateful to Austrian Federation that they gave us opportunity to skate, to train and to prepare for competition, and we are really thank you so much.
Well, we are grateful to you and your coach Galina as well for all the hard work and that brilliant skate, and we just really look forward to seeing you and cheering you on for the rest of the season. So,
thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Now, thank you in Ukrainian.
Дякуєм. Дякую.
Дякую.
Так.
Дякую.
Дякую.
Welcome back, everyone, to Budapest, Hungary. Week number 5 on the Ice Junior Grand Prix. We're in the rhythm dance, final group number 3. Mark Henry joins me from Nottingham.
A little bit more painting done in the break and ready to go for some more 1980s.
The air must be rather pungent with the smell of paint.
I did have to open the garage door whilst I was doing it, yeah.
Hopefully no animal will walk in.
Maybe I'll get even more lightheaded and excitable with the smell of the paint in addition to the excitement when we watch the skating.
Well, I think we're actually creating, a bit of a mystery here about your garage and your studio and all the things that are going on in there. And I think you need to take some pictures or some little video. And
I think anybody would respect more what's happening for me to commentate from the garage if they'd seen the dumping ground that our garage had initially been prior to setting up shop for Junior Grand Prix. It's not that great as it stands, but it's a lot better than it was.
Yeah, there you go. Before and after.
Yeah. Right, we've had questions, Ted.
Okay, let's go.
Questions have come in.
Get 'em out.
So, from Anna Grekul, favorite Junior Grand Prix location yet? Favorite Junior Grand Prix location so far? Now, you have been to so many destinations over the years, so I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
My favorite Junior Grand Prix location is Ljubljana, Slovenia. It's a beautiful little, and the wonderful thing about Ljubljana is that as much as you go through all the cities and towns and villages in Europe and be charmed by the old part of town and charmed by the restaurants, etc., etc., it was the people there that didn't make you feel like you're tourists. You felt like you were part of the community, and it's just beautiful, just on a little river, and I don't know, so charming. Prague as well. Prague was my favorite city, I would say, in Europe. But yeah, there you go. But Prague has not hosted a Junior Grand Prix, so Ljubljana. There's my answer.
Ah, nice. My wife likes Slovenia. She talks about Lake Bled and
beautiful.
I've never been, but yeah. Happy days. Okay, next question. Not necessarily. In fact, actually, I'll flip this around, given that we're in the dance event, and reserve some of the questions pertaining to the single skating for later. Best part of Budapest so far from @Babsavan.
Best part of Budapest. Wow. I don't know. Have you been to Budapest before?
No, but I've heard so many people sing its praises. I remember you saying that you're 25 minutes out from the centre, so I don't know how much, if any, you will get to see.
Well, I went downtown. Diana and I went downtown and took a tour bus, like a tour. So what did you do?
Cool.
I so enjoyed it on the top deck and just listen to it. But I've been here about 4 times or so, and I hadn't really been downtown in a relaxed environment. And it's such a spectacular city on the Danube, and Pest is, of course, on one side, Buda's on the other side, and the history, the architecture is just amazing. You can spend a week here and just enjoy every day, of course. So, it is a beautiful, beautiful city. And out here, about 25 minutes outside of the city, you're in the forest. Wonderful pathways for hiking and running, and we're at the Aqua World, which has, I don't know how many pools, 10 pools in it. It's amazing. So it really is a lovely Junior Grand Prix and a wonderful experience.
I've heard, again, another city I've not been to, but I've heard so many amazing things about this city. So, and that I did actually see in my pursuit of more information from the skaters, some of the skaters choosing to use Tuesday as a day quite literally just to enjoy being in the city, and I think that's so precious for the memory making for these athletes.
Yeah, and a lot of them, these younger athletes have their parents here with them, so as a family they're getting to experience a bit of a journey. And I had actually Dana Sabatini Speciale's father. I spoke with him this morning, and they haven't really been out yet, but they're going to do that after the competition. So, it's special to spend some time with your parents in a European city that you might not have done as a vacation. So,
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
And I actually, Dana, the Canadian ice dancer who I think is in this group, I remember they went straight
there,
back
his father up there in the back row holding the flag.
Amazing.
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him in the elevator there, and he's part of the Canadian cheering team.
Yeah, well done to our team for capturing them there. But they were on the bus straight back from the Grand Prix that I was at the next morning, because obviously with back-to-back assignments, or not back-to-back assignments, but assignments so close together, you can't utilize the time in between. So great to know that now we might have a little longer to enjoy the sights.
On the next team represents France, 16-year-old Estelle Boulet and 20-year-old Martin Chardin. And they're coached by Fabien Bossat, famous ice dancer himself, of course, European champion with Nathalie Pechalat.
Estelle Bouillet and Martin Chardin from France, and a team that has only been together for 3 to 4 months, saying they're just so happy to be here and give all the energy they have. So kudos to them. 3 to 4 months here in the Junior Grand Prix.
That's amazing. And they look like having a ball doing it.
Yeah, and we saw them supporting the French skaters that were competing on the first day of competition, so embracing the teamwork. And I saw some nice posts online of the French team across all disciplines united together, and that another factor in this experience for the athletes, the unity in team.
Yeah, particularly in the juniors. You see the twizzles here in the level 3 for both Estelle and Martin.
So either just missing a feature, or possibly what may have happened is they're just not continuous rotation, just checking the turns ever so slightly. And I think Estelle had competed in a partnership before on the novice level. Martin we saw last year on the Junior Grand Prix with his former partner, so they have a pedigree of sorts, experience in different partnerships.
And you can see Estelle, she's a performer, no question. So the discipline of dance, right down her alley. It's just going to take some time for this team to mold together. It's just mileage and experience building that special team relationship.
Yeah, so true. And I'm fascinated to know, we don't have on their biog the music exactly. I want to know if the t-shirt is got, which has the tour dates, is a tour date specific to the music, because I think that would be an excellent detail. Not sure though. And we've seen Olivier Schoenfelder, French world champion in ice dance, now coaching on the Junior Grand Prix. Now Fabien Broussard, European champion from France. You know, some nations just, it's such a rich heritage, and we've seen a lot of French junior teams on the Junior Grand Prix this year, so it's exciting to see that it's continuing.
Yeah, it's so great to see those top coaches who, you know, have been coaching Olympians, were Olympians themselves, have been coaching Olympians or world champions, restart again with a new generation down on the Junior Grand Prix, spending the time to cultivate, if you will, that next era of great ice dancers or juniors. 52.19 for Estelle and Martin. That's going to put them currently into 7th place, and look pretty happy with that score. Really, for just a few months out, wow, that's amazing.
Amazing.
Next is
15-year-old Alice Pizzerni and 19-year-old Massimiliano Bucarelli from Italy. 47.46 to personal best last season on the Junior Grand Prix. They'll skate to all around the world. Wake me up before you go.
Well, a huge happy birthday to Alice Pizzorni and partner Massimiliano Bucarelli from Italy. What a way to celebrate Sweet 16 and birthday today, competing on the Junior Grand Prix as Eduardo and Cristina Mauri support their teammates from the stands.
Yeah, happy birthday. No question. Nice day to compete for your country. A little shaky on some of the steps in the program. You can see.
Shame he lost the feature there. And I don't know about you, Tiff, but I thought after the loss of that feature from Massimiliano, then he seemed to fight for everything, was a little bit more gutsy, and then just at the end, a little bit of tension at the end. But at this point now in the Rocker Foxtrot, you can see good ice coverage. The couples are allowed to cross the centre line there, and they did that, showcasing good skating skills, good speed.
Well, they've got the power and speed in the ice coverage. This is no question. I think this is, pretty solid team who had a couple shaky steps in the program, but nothing major. And just a little tight nerves after that twizzle, but as we see the pickup on the rotational lift, good speed across the ice. It's in at a level 3, so missing one feature on that element.
I wonder if maybe just not sufficient difficult exit, and they'll get that feedback. But a team that has a fundamentally good skating skill quality in this, unlike so many of the others who've competed already. This is their first Junior Grand Prix, so this season, not ever, but that will give them more feedback on what they're outputting so that they can move forward more confidently in the levels that they're trying to fight for.
And you can see Alice just a little bit
subdued.
Yeah, subdued. Just good work by the coach. Just come on, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. This is all a bit of a process. Yeah, happy birthday. That's a tough one. Happy birthday. You're just a little frustrated after a program, so we'll get over it and get ready for the free dance and enjoy the rest of the day. This on her birthday.
Yeah. I wonder what birthday cake is like in Budapest, but
hey, I can tell you. Well, not a birthday cake, but I can tell you it's all good.
Oh, good. Happy days. Get Alice some
great food.
Celebration cake.
Yeah.
They actually, Stefania De Luca, their coach, but another team that's using Massimo Scali on the choreography side of things, and Massimo Scali being really utilised lots and lots. See his name repeatedly cropping up in the ISU biographies for skaters using him as a choreographer. And as we've said with the French ice dancers, great to see an Italian ice dance team using a former Italian champion.
Yeah. And of course, he was a great ice dancer himself and wonderful creative entertainer and athlete.
And interesting to see which of those former champions choose the route of coach and choose the route of choreography.
True enough. 47.46 her personal best, but it's a 50.37, so they're pretty happy with that. That will put them currently in 8th place. So we've seen a lot of personal bests come up on the scoreboard today. Still taking a look at those scores and dissecting them. As we take a look, the next team comes from Canada, 17-year-old Dana Sabatini Special and 16-year-old Nicholas Bulow. Second Junior Grand Prix season, second event, 8th in Istanbul. 6th at Canadian Junior Nationals, 50.40 personal best. So it's getting to Jack and Diane in Pride and Joy.
Dana Sabatini Special and Nicholas Bilo. And Dana explained the story behind the rhythm dance. It's a 1980s high school sweetheart vibe. And the two tunes, Ted, have a different storytelling. Nick wants Dan and Dana in the first one. And in the second track, Dana's noticing how Emma becomes Nick's girl. And having known that story, I could really see the storytelling becoming more and more evident. And that possibly also as they get more comfortable with the choreography later in the season.
Yeah, and I love the storytelling. I love to hear those stories even before the team takes to the ice. So you see the Twizzles are in at a level 3 for Dana, level 4 for Nicholas.
Ted, it looks like they've got 7 out of the 8 key points. Wowzers, that's impressive.
Oh, that's amazing. See that. Then we get into the sassy part of the dance here. A great choice of music, I think, for this team.
And, you know, as you say, Ted, great to hear the story, and then you can see this, the second track, you can sense that Dana showing that different character. Of course, they're fixated on the rocker and the counter there within the step, trying to make sure that the turns are clean. But there was a definite vibe change with the two tracks. So then when it comes to the presentation, showcasing that understanding of the music should be rewarded hopefully by the judges as we look at change of pose, that the feature within the rotational lift, and the difficult exit.
Well, their season's best was 50.18, personal best 50.40. This is going to beat that by quite a bit. I think they'll be happy with this score. Progress made, and great energy, great positivity in the program, good storytelling as well. Great to hear that. Good research there, Inspector Mark.
Well, thank you to Dana for sharing it, and also kudos. Dana shows an emotional maturity in the kiss and cry at the last event that blew me away. So special young humans again as they're joined with Kelly Johnson, one of their coaching staff. I think Nicholas really has the 1980s high school disco type vibe. He's
got the blue shirt with the white t-shirt underneath. He's got the hair. He's got the perfect high school type of quarterback, football quarterback, look to him. And
you wonder how many of the ice dancers have grown their hair out for this season when they heard about the 1980s.
Yeah, I don't know.
For the rhythm dance.
Well, let's see the reaction to this score. 57.83, and Dana was like, whoa, that's great. And that puts Dana and Nicholas currently into third place. Well deserved. Good storytelling, good character transitions partway through that program. Nicely done. Our next team represents France. 13-year-old Dania Modin, 14-year-old Theo Bijot. They're coached by Barbara Piton. 53.79, their personal best in Linz. They'll skate the last night and walk like an Egyptian by the Bengals.
Well, we've seen them already on the Junior Grand Prix series this year. Dania Muadin and Theo Bijot, and we compared them to a younger Tremor last time. To me, a possible Papadakis and Cizeron. There's just no doubt of this team's quality.
Yeah, no question. And we talked about the improvement that some of these teams make. This is amazing improvement just from Linz. I had to take this whole step sequence because I thought it was awesome.
And look at that rise and fall and the knee action and the depth of the edge. It's that skating skill. The skid stop after this was so perfect on music, and there the commitment to the arm movements and the energy. That, you know, there's no conservation of energy as they do that right inside bracket, which looked pretty clean.
You know, there's a big difference between doing choreography that you've been taught and feeling it, doing it the way it was intended to do, and they do it like they did it, like they choreographed themselves. It was so beautifully done.
And the straight line left, one of my favorite parts was just before the straight line left, 2 back crossovers as recently it was, and it was just back crossovers of the deepest knee bends, such fundamental good quality. And even, you know, the exit, the twizzles, the body awareness through their spine, through their back, just well trained athletes. And it's interesting, I was trying to make the comparison. The Olympic champions went to the Junior World Championships 4 times. They didn't ever win Junior Worlds, Papadakis and Cizeron. So it's just interesting to give you a context for time. Everybody talks about Papadakis and Cizeron, who burst on to winning the world title, I think, in their second attempt at seniors, but they did so much development as juniors. This is Dania and Theo, first season junior, and already we feel like, ooh, they're going to be...
Well, they
in the future.
Already are wonderful to watch. There's no question. As with every athlete or team, there's still lots of work to be done. But my gosh, they capture your attention. They have energy. They skate very similar. The styles are very, very close to each other, which makes the unison that much better. And the energy is just spectacular. They just, I don't know, there's something special about this team.
And we have to acknowledge Barbara Piton, the coach, the choreographer, because she's been with them the whole time.
Yeah, it's a smile on her face before the scores show, and they'll be happy. Season's best, 59.48. It's a big improvement. There we go. Nicely done. And that'll put them into 3rd place at the moment with one team to come, so they're sitting in a very, very nice position at this moment. Well deserved. Our next team represents Germany, 15-year-old Mia Lee Meyer and 17-year-old Davide Colorari. This is their first Junior Grand Prix season. They're going to skate to Mad World in one night in Bangkok, which was week 1 on the Junior Grand Prix.
Mia Lee-Meyer and Davide Calderai representing Germany. A new team, and interesting, Ted, we saw Mia last year with Tobias Huber, and so many teams will split and change and have different partnerships, and I was thinking, I wonder how Mia will feel about the comparison for results and scores, but what's most important is that they've got a team and that they've got a relationship and a friendship now as they look at the totals.
Yeah, and a new building process. Whenever you change partners, it's just the dance doesn't really change. Not the dancing doesn't change necessarily. It's just the relationship that does, and you have to find that special partnership, and that just takes time. And this team has improved. Good energy throughout the program.
The butterfly. Yeah, just not the same level of clarity of the edges as we might see from some of the others, but good rotational speed and ice coverage through the rotational lift. Coach and the kiss and crying. I think, you know, we talk so often about this as the celebration of all the training. What's so important is that the training is positive and happy as well, because that is more than the lion's share of the time spent in any partnership. So if the training is positive, then, you know, you're really winning then. If it's only the competitions that you vie for, less.
No, the training is where the partnership is built. You know, in all the hard days, the hard work, and no one's watching in the cold rink, you know, that's where, if you can get through that, then you're bonded, you're bonding together, and that's what makes the competition that much stronger, if you know what you will have gone through together. Nothing good comes easy, that's for sure.
No.
Well, 47.51 for Mia and Davide. That will put them currently in 11th place. We'll take a look at the final standings after the rhythm dance. As I mentioned in the opening, that Ali Betterset and Jeffrey Chan, of course, they have a good shot at the Junior Grand Prix final. They needed that placement. We'll see what happens in the free dance. And the rest of the team's really going for personal bests and podium spots. And that concludes our coverage of the rhythm dance here in day 2. Up next will be the pairs free program. Medals will be awarded, points for the Junior Grand Prix final as well. And that will start local time here in Budapest at 14:10, the pairs free program. For all of us here at the ISU, Mark Hanratty, I'm Ted Bart. Thank you for watching. Make sure you join us for the pairs free coming right up.